Saw a good interview. My girl was getting interviewed by Oprah, and
who, the VP?
Yeah, and
Madam VP,
and basically, and there was a moment she almost had a knockout moment, like it was perfect, and then she kind of like fell back on it, and it was a little. You saw it, right?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
She had the moment where I was like, oh, the election's hers. Now a lot changes every single week. Something changes, but
play it.
Do you have it?
It's 1, 2. It's gun owner 2. I'm pretty sure that's it.
Oh my God!
I would hope that's it.
If somebody breaks in my house, they're getting shot.
Yes, I hear that. I hear that.
Probably should not have said that.
That's the only thing that's frustrating, right?
She had a real moment as her.
Mm-hmm.
She says a hilarious, funny thing that I think there's bipartisan support for. You break into my house,
yes,
you getting shot. What person wouldn't agree with that?
That's the whole point of owning guns.
I want to have like a longer conversation just about like kind of what's happening culturally, but like there's a perfect example of Democrats pulling to the center. Democrats were kind of caught up in the rainbow shit for a little bit, and they went too crazy, and it was like super far left.
Because of the phones, because of social media.
Sure.
They thought that represented everybody. They thought that represented America.
And they were so off. But now you see like a line like that, you even see her approach, and it's coming back to this like very almost like centrist ideology, old school Democrats. The Republicans are so seduced by conspiracy theories, and I take this from someone who loves conspiracy theories. The whole party is wrapped up in conspiracy theories, like everything.
Because of this.
Yes, but what I'm saying is the Republican Party is so far right to the point where Trump is even during the debate going, "They're eating cats and dogs," like that. Like it's a knee-jerk reaction. The whole thing is conspiracy. Every institution is corrupt. They might be. Don't believe any history. Don't believe any pharmaceutical drug. Don't believe nothing. Everything is out to destroy you. It's so far right that now I think people are starting to go. They're like getting exhausted. There's like a fatigue.
We want here. We've said this all the time.
So
we don't want this.
So
we
it's
don't
not
want that. We want it right here in the center, baby.
So it's not the party that has the younger candidate. It's the party that doesn't go too far to the extreme. And it looks as if the Democrats have pulled to the middle and the Republicans are still reaching way to the right.
President Obama was a centrist.
J.D. Vance, way to the right.
Bill
Even
Clinton,
Tucker is a mouthpiece, way to the right.
Biden's a Republican.
Bill Clinton was a centrist.
But for
President
a while,
Obama was a centrist. Biden was a centrist.
Yeah, but for a while, the party was a
VP
bunch
is
of
centrist.
unicorns, and now I feel like for whatever reason, it's pulled back a little bit.
Listen, we got to go back, right? There was a time when President Obama didn't agree with gay marriage. This is the truth to the matter. Like his first time, he didn't agree with it. Like he came around later on, right? And I think that I don't have a problem with gay marriage. I think that's like people should have the right to be miserable if they want to be miserable. You know what I'm saying? Like it's fine, right?
I heard a fire response to that.
What?
Somebody's asking his protester, "Do you believe in gay marriage?" He goes, "I believe a gay man should be able to marry a gay woman." That shit hit. You didn't see that coming, rainbows. Did you see that coming, rainbows?
But to this point, listen. I'm 2A, right? My wife is 2A. I was in New Orleans over the weekend. And I was doing a fantastic conversation at Baldwin and Company Books with a young lady named Sharice Gibson. Sharice Gibson works for the news station down there in New Orleans. And she was talking to me about a chapter in my book called The Language of Politics is Dead, where I'm saying it's okay for politicians to speak straight, right? It's okay for them to talk straight, right? And she asked me about this particular moment right here with the VP because I had commented on the moment and she saw me commenting on it. And I was saying how, because the VP goes, I probably shouldn't have said that. Yes, you should.
You should have said that.
You should 100% say that. So I looked at the crowd, I go, how many people in here are legal gun owners? More than half the crowd. We're in New Orleans. More than half the crowd raises their hand. I go, if somebody comes breaks in your house tonight, what you gonna do? Shoot them. So you're talking just like the people.
Bro, that's the problem, though.
What's the problem?
That's everybody's reaction is shoot. I mean, I get it,
Chris, you have 2 daughters. If somebody breaks into your house and you have a gun, you're going to defend yourself.
I don't have to think about it as a hypothetical. I've been in a house while someone broke into it.
All right, let's make it
somebody broke into my house
Chris.
when I was a kid.
And what happened?
It was fucking terrifying.
And if you had a gun, you would have bucked off.
My dad said if I had a gun, I'm still traumatized by it, but like my dad fought the guy off.
He should have had a gun.
The cops came. heard screaming and breaking, and we got the guy in the cop car. My mom attacked the cop car. I mean, it was a whole scene.
You know what the cops had?
What?
Guns. Yeah.
Well, so the real shit was I was barricaded in my sister's room. And
How old were you?
I was like 7 or 8. I was.
You was old enough to fight, Chris. You should have helped your dad.
Yeah, why you?
You should have helped your dad.
Step
Grab
up,
the
bro.
nunchucks and go help your fucking father.
Yeah, it was a bad scene. I mean, it was very bad.
You was in New York?
I was in Philadelphia. I was in my room. My mom woke me up in the middle of the night, said, someone's in the house with an axe. Come with me.
With an axe?
Yeah, a guy broke in with an axe. And I was like, what? And she dragged me into my sister's room. I lay on the floor of my sister's room. My mom barricaded herself against the door. My sister had a big canopy bed. All I wanted to do was get under the bed.
Yeah.
And I was so terrified. It was 2 feet away. I could not move. And my mom is like up against the door, and then the door starts shaking. And she's like,
some shining shit. Did he start hitting the axe through the fucking
and
door?
she starts going, he's trying to get in the room. He's trying to get in the room. And the door's like shaking and pounding and pounding and pounding. And I'm like, just get under the bed. I couldn't get under the bed. All this like grab a lamp, couldn't move, paralyzed. And finally the door starts literally coming off the hinges. And I just see a guy come in with a gun. I just see a gun and I'm like, well, it's over. Like,
who had the gun?
It was a cop. So what happened was, my dad had fought the dude off. My mom was shaking because she was so scared. She started making the door shake. And then she started screaming, he's coming in the room. The cops and my dad had already tackled the guy. They thought there was a second dude in the house.
Oh.
So they ran back into the house, but the scareder she got, the more the door started shaking. And then they really did kick down the door. And I just saw the cop come with the gun and everything was fine. But
keyword, gun.
Gun.
Okay, but my point is...
Also, your dad, that was very brave
Shout out
of
to
him.
your dad, man.
My dad very specifically didn't have a gun. And my dad had a town watch. We used to drive around our neighborhood with a little walkie-talkie, and we did. He had like a neighborhood.
I bet your dad wish he had a gun in that moment.
And I said to my dad, why don't you have a gun? And he goes, if I get a gun, I'm going to fucking kill somebody. I don't want to kill anybody.
You're not going to kill nobody if they don't try to break in your
He
house.
made citizens arrests. He called in crimes. He got awards for the mayor of Philadelphia. He did all this shit, but he never got a gun.
I think it's perfectly... Listen, I believe in common sense gun reform. I don't believe people should have, weapons that they use in the military to kill, hundreds of people at once. But I believe in 2A. I believe in having firearms in your house to be able to protect yourself. I believe in having firearms in your car to be able to protect yourself nowadays.
It's tough. I get the instinct. Trust me. But if my dad had a gun, he would have blown that guy's head off.
And?
Good. Might have saved somebody else.
With an axe.
He did come with
with
an
your
axe.
2 young kids in there. I don't give a fuck. God bless them. By the way, I don't even think that's something you got to repent for.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
Protected your family.
He broke into your house, Chris. You ain't got a problem killing bugs when they come in your house.
Yeah.
A fucking animal come in your house, you'll fucking be ready to slaughter it, Peter on your ass, right? But a human comes in your house with a fucking axe, and you got remorse for him? What do you think that dude would have did with that axe if he could have got the y'all?
100%.
He's going to fucking kill us.
Fuck him.
Okay, so I think we're on the same page here that this Kamala moment was a great moment. Then she apologized for it, and we're like, oh, darn it.
Well, she didn't really apologize. She just said, I probably shouldn't have said that. My team will clean it up tomorrow. My thing is, what's wrong with speaking the language of the people?
Well,
what's wrong with real human emotions?
So here's the thing. This is what I think is happening right now. I don't think anybody's on the plot, but I think I think when Trump ran the first time, he knew exactly what his base needed. Like, he spoke to...
I wouldn't even just say the base.
Well, I was trying to be really nuanced. I think he knew what people needed.
At the time.
He the first time he ran, he was on the money. He was pinpoint accurate. Yeah, there was some wild shit that he was saying, but he was also a mouthpiece for so many people who just didn't feel like they could communicate their feelings, but he tapped in perfectly. Second, he was a little bit off. Third, he's even more off. He's just off the scent.
Over, guys.
Regardless if it's over or not, but because things can happen a week before election, 2 weeks before election.
By the way, he can still win.
Yeah.
I think he's going to win.
Really, Chris?
Okay, and I want to get to I want you to explain that. But what I'm saying is, don't you feel right now like he's a he's a standard deviation away from the zeitgeist, from the feeling. Like, I don't think he's capturing the moment.
I told y'all already, he doesn't want to do this anymore.
That might be the case. I don't think Kamala's capturing the moment. I don't think she's on it.
She's capturing
but he's
the moment.
furthest away from it that I've experienced in his time in politics.
Here's the thing. What you're saying is not wrong in no way, shape, or form. It is very hard to capture the moment as a politician. I've only seen it 3 times in my lifetime.
Barack,
Bill Clinton,
Bill,
and Trump in 2016.
and we weren't around for Reagan, but I imagine Reagan.
Yeah, I don't remember the Reagan, but I'm talking when as my adult life.
Yeah.
3 people that captured the moment. That's why I keep telling folks, man.
Bill,
I'm supporting the vice president, but this don't feel like Obama in 2008.
No.
It actually feels more like Hillary in 2016.
just not.
Where it's like all signs are pointing to the polls are saying like, and the polls aren't even saying that. The polls are saying it's tied pretty much, right? But like every now and then you'll see the VP get up 4%, 7%. It seemed like she should win, but that's what we thought in 2016 as well. 2008, you couldn't go nowhere without Barack Obama mania.
Yeah, you
Black
knew it
people,
was gonna
white
be-
people, gay people, straight people. It seemed like everybody was on board with Barack. So much so that we didn't even pay attention to the other side that was fuming.
Yeah.
The side that Fox News riled up for 8 years. The side that was ready to go vote for somebody like Trump by the time 2016 came around. Because we were just so enamored by President Obama. Clinton, I wasn't even old enough to vote. I wasn't old enough to vote with Clinton.
No.
That was 94, right? But I remember how people felt about Bill Clinton.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that. I remember people talking about Bill Clinton. I remember people talking about how great the economy was 4 years after Clinton, 8 years after Clinton. I remember that. So those guys, to me, captured the moment. Even Trump in 2016.
He captured
the moment. Like Hillary did not capture the moment in 2016. She was the most qualified. She was the person everybody thought was just a shoo-in to get it. But he captured the moment.
So the question right now is, what is the moment? I think America is its most fractured right now. And I think the internet is partially responsible because it allows people to operate within their little bubbles. And their little bubbles are their entire world. And that's the only thing that matters to them.
That's right.
But now there's 100 little bubbles. So how do you capture the sentiment? Go.
You capture the moment by doing what we just talked about doing. You come back to the center because there might be some good things over there and there might be some good things over here. And if you nowadays, most of us are paying attention to both sides, right? That's why things have shifted so much, right? Like, gosh, man, they're saying that 22% of black people are gonna, vote for Trump, and these women that voted for Trump in 2016 and 2020 are leaving Trump now. They're leaving the party, and you see these Latinos vote for Trump. Everything's all in influx, right? And the reason everything's all in influx is because everybody's tired of being way over here and way over there. It's the people that are right here in the middle, right here in the center, speaking common sense like Kamala just did by saying, if you break into my house, I own a gun, I'm going to shoot you. If you just have some common sense, talking about the economy, talking about making people safe. If you're just keeping it there, you ain't talking about no wild shit about eating no dogs. You ain't telling me that, this is a girl, what, I can't even remember what the fuck I was going to, this is really you were born a girl, but you can have babies. Men can have babies. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. Men can have babies. We're not having none of those conversations. We're just talking common sense that all humans, regardless of what your sexuality is, your gender identity, your religion, race, can you put some money in my pocket?
That's it.
Can you keep me safe?
Yeah.
That's all I care about.
Yeah.
The return to center is meeting the moment.
Yeah. Radicalism is exhausting after a while.
On either side.
It is just, you can do it. It's enticing. It's fun. It's a race. You're going through articles and it's telling you all the fucking horrible things the CIA did. And you're reading about the Federal Reserve and you're like, what the fuck is this? You're reading about, did we land on the moon or not? Like, what is all this information?
And all I care about is how much is eggs.
But at the end of the day,
how much is the light bill? You know what I'm saying?
And all that other stuff, it riles you up to a point where you're like, yo, I got too much cortisol in my system right now. I need to chill the fuck out. I need to separate. I'm telling you, I think Americans are a little exhausted. And I think we're exhausted of the rhetoric that's like, America's falling apart. It's awful. It's our country still.
My guy, Tim Ryan from Ohio, he says it all the time. He represents the exhausted majority.
Yeah.
the people who are just tired. He's a Democrat.
Yeah.
Tried and true Democrat.
Yeah.
But what he's saying, we're saying right now, he's been saying for years. By the way, would have made a great VP pick, by the way. He said we're the exhausted majority. Everybody's just tired.
They're tired, bro.
That's it.
I'm tired of I'm tired of politicians telling me how horrible America is. Tell me why it's great. I loved, honestly, like Trump's "Make America Great Again" had positivity. He shrouds it in criticism, but when he starts talking about we're going to build the greatest economy, we're going to build the greatest military, that gets Americans excited. Like, people came to this country because they want greatness. American excellence is important to us. We expect to win. We expect to be number one, and we expect to be the best. When you start telling us why we're going to be the best, we get excited. When you start telling us everything is fall apart and it sucks and we have to change and we have to accept not being the best, whatever that fucking rhetoric is, we are tuning it out and we are not happy.
Yeah, I think America first hits harder than MAGA though. Because and that's one of his slogans too, because you'll have people who'll be like, well, when was America ever great totally for black people? When was it great for gay people? When was it great for women?
Yeah.
But America first, everybody can get behind that.
I like
because
that.
Folks look and they see all of this money going over here for this and all of this money going over there for that. And,
I want some of that.
Like
Yeah.
the migrants are coming in and they're getting these resources before people that have been born here. Yeah. America first, I think, hits harder than MAGA. And I've been hearing a lot of America first rhetoric.
Really?
From the VP as well.
Now we talking.
That's all I'm saying.
Now we talking.
Why do you think she's going to lose, Chris? Talk to me.
Well, I mean, look, I think what you guys are talking about.
You don't hope she loses, though.
No, I mean, I'm certainly supporting her, but like, I think the people's frustration is real. I think people really do feel like the system is broken. I think the system is broken. I don't think it's, a false sense. I think I think Trump's a fraud and they've put their trust that he's an outsider who's going to do something in him. So I think even if he's, to Andrew's point, going much further right than he has in the past, like, he's still tapping in to something that most Americans feel. I just think they're wrong in putting that faith in. And the other thing is, like, I don't think people are going to vote for a woman, man. Like, I think that's the big
Sexist pig, you.
Yeah, bro.
I'm voting for her.
I cannot believe you, Chris.
I'm voting for her.
Be the change you want to see in the world.
I'll certainly be the change, but, like, that concerns me. Like,
why?
That they won't vote for her? Because I think she's a better candidate.
No. But why? Why do you think people won't vote for a woman?
I can't put my finger on it. I mean, the part of it that I don't understand is why women don't seem to support her more.
I think they're starting to now. I used to feel that way. I used to feel like America would never vote for a woman, but the reason I push back on that rhetoric is because we saw 65 million people vote for Hillary Clinton. Like, she won the popular vote by more than 3 million votes. If there was no such thing as the Electoral College, Hillary Clinton
make
would be
it
president.
a woman of color.
Huh?
Now make it a woman of color.
I mean, they voted for a black guy as well. I mean, I think America is a lot more progressive than we
give it credit for.
Exactly.
I agree with you. I think that's a lot of rhetoric right there.
I'll be very happy to be proven wrong.